The sun was sinking behind the far mesas when the dust-coated stranger known only as Cole Murdoch rode quietly into Dry River, a town that had long forgotten the meaning of peace. Cole was a lone rancher, a man who kept to himself, speaking more to horses than humans, surviving on the thin line between the law and the land. He had come to town only to buy feed, salt, and ammunition, nothing more. But fate had its own way of rearranging a man's plans, especially in the Wild West where every sunset carried a threat and every stranger carried a story. As Cole tied his horse near the trading post, a hush fell on the street, a strange, heavy silence, like air holding its breath. Everyone stared toward the far end of the wooden walkway, and Cole followed their eyes. That was the first moment he saw her, the woman who would turn his quiet life upside down. She stepped into the sunlight like a towering shadow given shape, nearly a head and a half taller than most men, broad-shouldered, strikingly muscular, dressed in traditional Apache buckskin with beadwork that shimmered in the light, her braids swinging like ropes of midnight. Her presence alone seemed to shake the dust beneath her feet. Her name, whispered among townsfolk like both a warning and a legend, was Tala. She was the daughter of the Apache war chief, feared, respected, and rumored to possess strength that could break a man's spine and a will that not even the mountains could erode. Cole did not know what business she had in town, but everyone else clearly did. They scattered, doors slammed, shutters closed, and soon the entire street was emptied, as if preparing for a storm. Tala walked straight toward Cole, with long, determined strides, her eyes fixed on him as if she had been tracking him for miles. Cole felt the weight of her stare, the focused intensity of someone who wasn't here by accident. When she finally stopped in front of him, the top of his hat barely reached her chin. The air thickened. Cole kept his composure, tipping his hat politely. "Ma'am," he said calmly. But Tala leaned forward, her voice low, fierce, and shaking with unfiltered emotion, not anger, but something raw. "You're coming with me. Now, you're going to listen to me." The town's earlier whispers suddenly made sense. They weren't afraid of her size, they were afraid of her mission. Cole narrowed his eyes. "I don't recall making any agreements. You saved my brother 2 nights ago," Tala said, her jaw tightening. "From the outlaw Roberts, the man you shot off the ridge before he struck. My tribe owes you, but an Apache debt is not repaid in silence." Cole blinked. He had indeed fired a single shot at twilight, seeing a silhouetted rider aiming a rifle at a boy collecting water near the river. He hadn't known the boy belonged to her people. He hadn't expected thanks. "I didn't do it to earn anything," he replied. "A good man doesn't watch a kid die." Tala stepped closer, the sunlight catching the intensity in her eyes. "A life saved must not go unpaid. My tribe believes in bonds, in promises, in choosing strength. And I choose you." Her tone was fierce, not flirtatious, urgent, not forceful. Cole sensed this was something deeper than he understood. "What exactly do you want from me?" he asked cautiously. Tala raised her chin, her voice hard as flint. "Our enemies are gathering. The outlaw Roberts survived your shot. He is returning with more men. They want my people gone, and they want me most of all. You are the only outsider we trust. You're going to stand with me, whether you like it or not." Cole frowned. "I'm no hero." "No," she said, her expression softening the slightest bit. "But you're the kind of man who becomes one when it matters." A long silence stretched between them, filled only by the warm wind brushing through the wooden boards of the empty town. She extended her hand, large, strong, calloused from years of training. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't a demand. It was an invitation to destiny. Cole hesitated, thinking of the dangers, the weight of responsibility, and the fact that helping her meant stepping into the crosshairs of an outlaw gang, known for their bloodlust. But then he looked into her eyes, fierce, loyal, honest, and something inside him shifted. "All right," he whispered. "I'll listen." And with that, the rancher and the giant Apache girl walked out of town together, unaware of the storm waiting for them just beyond the hills. The journey from Dry River to the Apache camp took Cole and Tala, across vast stretches of untamed land where silence spoke louder than words and every gust of wind carried news of danger. Cole rode his horse, while Tala walked beside him with long, thunderous strides, her shadow stretching across the desert floor like a guardian spirit. By the time they reached the camp, dusk had painted the sky in streaks of violet and gold. The Apache people watched the lone rancher with cautious eyes, but Tala's presence beside him kept any suspicion at bay. Her younger brother, the same boy Cole had saved, ran up and threw his arms around her waist, then looked up at Cole with shy gratitude. Cole only tipped his hat, feeling a strange warmth in his chest he hadn't felt in years. Tala had told her father, Chief Greyhawk, everything during the walk home, about the shot, about the outlaw Roberts, and about the coming threat. The chief sat in his lodge like an oak tree, forged into human form, ancient yet unbreakable, but even he expressed concern. "Roberts will return," the chief said. "Not for our land, but for revenge. And a man driven by vengeance is more dangerous than a wolf starving in winter," Cole nodded. "He won't stop until he gets what he wants." "And what he wants," Tala added, her voice steady, "is me." There was no fear in her words, only resolve. Cole looked at her, tall, fierce, unshakably brave, and felt the weight of responsibility settle onto his shoulders. He had never asked for this, never wanted to be dragged into another man's war, but something about Tala's unwavering courage stirred something inside him he couldn't explain. "I'll stand with you," he said, "but we need a plan." So they prepared. The tribe moved quietly but efficiently, gathering weapons, checking their horses, reinforcing their lookout posts. Tala trained with the warriors, her movements sharp as an eagle's strike. Cole watched her for a moment, the way she held her stance, the raw power in her arms, the determination carved into every breath. And despite the looming danger, he found himself quietly admiring the strength life had forged inside her. When night fell, the campfire flickered like a heartbeat in the dark, and the sky was a bowl of stars scattered across endless black. Cole sat sharpening his knife when Tala approached, sitting beside him without a word. For a moment they just listened to the crackling fire. Then Tala spoke, her voice softer than he had ever heard. "You did more than save my brother," she said. "You saved something inside me too." Cole raised a brow. "What do you mean?" She looked at the flames. "I have spent years fighting, leading, carrying the weight of being my father's daughter. People fear me before they even know me, and challenge me to prove themselves. Warriors try to win me in contests of strength." She paused, drawing a slow breath. "But you stepped in without expectation, without wanting something in return. That kind of man is rare." Cole wasn't used to praise. He cleared his throat awkwardly. "I just did what anyone should." She shook her head gently. "No, not anyone." Before Cole could respond, a sharp whistle cut through the air, a warning from the edge of the camp. Both instantly rose to their feet, instincts burning. Tala grabbed her spear. Cole slung his rifle over his shoulder. Shadows moved on the ridge, horses, riders, dust, swirling behind them like a storm cloud. Roberts was here, and he brought a small army. The camp erupted into motion. Warriors grabbed their weapons, women rushed the children into shelter, and torches ignited like fiery serpents in the night. Cole and Tala ran side by side toward the barricades. "Stay close," Tala ordered. "I'm not here to run," Cole shot back. The outlaw Roberts, tall and scar-faced, rode to the front of his gang, his voice carrying over the desert. "Tala!" he shouted. "I know you're here. You took something from me, and I'm taking you." Tala stepped out into the open, her silhouette towering in the firelight. "I owe you nothing," she replied fiercely. "Leave now." Roberts laughed, a cold, venomous sound. "Try and stop me." His riders drew their guns, and the battle exploded. Gunfire cracked through the night like lightning. Apache archers fired arrows in graceful arcs, striking riders clean off their horses. Cole dropped to one knee, firing precise shots that took out attackers one after another. The air filled with dust, screams, and the thunder of hooves. Through the chaos, Tala moved like a force of nature, spinning her spear, blocking bullets with incredible reflexes, knocking men backward with the strength of 10. Cole watched her in awe even as he kept shooting. Roberts dismounted and charged straight for Tala with a hunting knife in hand. "You should have been mine," he snarled. Tala blocked his strike with her arm, sending him stumbling back. "I belong to no man," she growled. But Roberts was fast, driven by madness. Their fight tore across the clearing, knife against spear, fury against control. Cole tried to get a clear shot, but couldn't. Risk hitting Tala, Roberts finally managed to slash her arm, drawing blood. And that was when Cole moved. He sprinted forward, tackled Roberts from behind, and the two men crashed into the dirt. Roberts twisted violently, punching hard, but Cole didn't back down. The fight was raw, primal, brutal. But Cole had something Roberts didn't: purpose. With a final surge of strength, Cole struck Roberts square in the jaw, knocking him unconscious. The battle slowly died down. The remaining outlaws fled into the night, defeated. The Apache camp stood victorious. Tala approached Cole, breathing heavily, blood trickling down her arm. Her eyes softened as she looked at him. "You risked your life for me," she said quietly. Cole wiped dust from his face. "Like I said, I'm not here to run." Tala stepped closer, towering over him, yet softer than ever before. "Then stay," she whispered. "Stay with us. Stay with me. My tribe accepts you." She paused, searching his eyes with a sincerity that pierced him deeper than any blade. "I trust you." For a man who had lived most of his life alone, those words hit harder than any bullet. He nodded slowly. "Then I'll stay." And as dawn broke over the desert, painting the sky gold, the giant Apache girl and the lone rancher stood side by side, allies, partners bound by battle, destiny, and a connection neither of them had expected, but both had found a reason to fight for.